it's nice moments like this, but it's also how you handle big questions. Let's go now to Cody Rhodes getting a question about everything that's been happening the last few days.
Next question.
I almost pointed.
You're in the front row.
Hi, Cody. Nick Hausman, House of Wrestling.
Well, you always introduce yourself like I don't know you.
I'm not.
It's not for us, right? It's for the overall. I got it.
I'm not special, Cody.
Nick Hausman, everybody.
Thank you, Cody. There was a real dark cloud over this weekend following the allegations against Vince McMahon. You've talked about how Vince met with you personally to bring you into the company. I just wanted to get your reaction to the report, and as someone who served as an executive within the industry, what changes do you think should be made across the board to prevent situations like this from happening again?
Let me stop there. Great question.
Wow. Nick Hausman.
You see, when you say, do they ask real questions, there are guys that are a part of the wrestling press that ask real questions, and they're ones who want to know the favorite color of the wrestler. You got Tiger Beat in the same room as, the serious people asking serious questions.
But now here's the question. To paraphrase Jerry Seinfeld, it's not the asking of the question, it's the answering of the question. How was Cody's answer?
Well, let me ask you before we get to that. If you're a talent and you're doing something like this, and I know this is not something you ever did, it wasn't, great job in the Superdome tonight, get out there for the media scrum.
Yeah.
But you have to expect this question. You have to expect that you're going to have to say something. How well prepared are you going in? What are you thinking going in if it was you?
Well, if I'm a talent...
It's an unfair position in a sense because, Cody is just a talent.
Because that's the thing. If you're a talent, then you can fairly well answer the question honestly and at the same time not cause controversy. If Cody, there was two parts of it. What do you think? And also, what would you do as a former executive? What would I think is... Yes, I met with Vince McMahon, and I worked at the company for several years previously, and I was as astonished as anyone to hear of behavior like this in a complaint. I say, let the situation play out in court, but I never saw any side of Vince McMahon like this, because I think that would be a pretty honest answer for Cody. And with as a former, hold on to both, and I'll answer both. You can ask, and as a former executive, he could say, quite honestly, since there is a new administration here and new owners and the TKO Holdings Group and et cetera, that's probably the answer right there, is that a new administration with a stricter supervision and oversight. And we luckily already have that in progress. And
do you think a talent would get in trouble if they came out and said, I'm disgusted by this. I hope we never see him again. Hope he rots in hell. Go fuck yourself, Vince. Would someone get in trouble right now for doing that?
I think they would almost have to get in trouble, not because, maybe even from somebody who might echo the same sentiment, but it's not the talent's place to say that, because can you imagine the fucking headlines and blah, blah, blah. And they don't want. That's the last thing they want.
Open those floodgates. The next person comes in, I want to say, go fuck yourself too.
Yeah. And then, or whoever, well, so-and-so's fired. Well, I never liked him. I would think that even if whoever was disciplining the talent agreed, with the sentiment, they would have to say, no, you can't fucking do that. But,
well, again,
anyway.
Yeah, let's go to this. If you're going to be a top guy, you got to be able to answer these kind of questions or at least get through it. Let's see how Cody Rhodes does.
It's a great question. I know as far as the news is concerned, we were finding it out and reading the same things that you guys were reading. And you said a dark cloud, certainly. As far as TKO, Nick Khan and the board clearly took it very seriously, acted immediately. And looking at the future, I don't know the answer to that. And I think somewhere is probably a basic tenet of just this crew, more than ever, from a roster standpoint, is very family. I've never seen anything like this. Most of the time, wrestling locker rooms are fighting, talking trash about each other, making fun of each other, sandbagging each other in the ring, all that nonsense. This crew is very team-based, and perhaps that's the ingredient, is everyone looking out for everyone, being accountable. And I know for me as a performer and a competitor, I've been through dark periods in our industry before. And it might sound cheesy, but it's very reinforcing, if you're in my position, that it's a time when, hey, we got 50,000 people out here. I want to give them something else from this weekend that isn't a terrible situation and terrible news. And I think we were able to do that. And obviously, as more news comes out, we'll be seeing it just like you do. Thank you.
How do you think he handled that?
Excellent. He sounded sincere, genuine. He didn't say anything that could be ripped off as an inflammatory headline. Cody Rhodes says this or that, and he was at the same time as honest as he could be. So yeah, and that Cody is glib. Cody is eloquent. Cody is verbose, and that's why he was the adult in the group of the EVPs over there, actually doing business.